Joining us now is a food media specialist and recipe developer, Charmaine Broughton. Welcome, Charmaine.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be back in 2017.
We're delighted to have you because this evening you're going to share your story of losing weight and keeping it off. And that, when it's a successful story, is a great inspiration for all of us.
Yes, and that's my goal today, is really just to, even if I can just inspire one listener to make the change that I did and live a happy, healthy, exciting life like I do.
How did it begin?
Well, I had always struggled with my weight. Here's an example. When I was 12 years old, I remember I was so excited to be in a family member's wedding. I was asked to be a bridesmaid. I was so excited. And about 2 weeks before the big day, I went in for my last fitting. And the mother of this family member was there. And the dress that I was wearing was tight because I had gained a little bit of weight. And you have to keep in mind, I was only 12 years old. And I remember when I was getting out of the dress, this relative had said to my mom, can you just make sure that Charmaine doesn't gain any more weight before the wedding? And that just absolutely crushed me as a 12-year-old girl. And, 30 years later, I'm still upset about it. If I was told once, I was told 1,000 times, you would be so pretty if you just lost weight. I was thinking about that saying on the way down today. And, often people will look in the mirror and they'll say, oh, I would be so pretty, or my life would be perfect if I just lost weight. But no, you're perfect just the way you are. And today my goal is really just to share some of the tips that help me lose the weight and keep it off.
Very briefly, there was a moment, though. There must have been a moment where you said, enough is enough, I'm doing it.
There was. So after the birth of my second son, I weighed over 220 pounds. And right before I got pregnant with him, I was at a party and I was talking to a chiropractor friend of mine. And I was giving him all these excuses about, being overweight. And he said to me, you know what, Charmaine? He said, there's a woman that I know, and she runs the New York City Marathon every single year. And she has a disease, and it takes her 9 hours, but she does it. And those words just stuck with me. So after I gave birth to my second son, Colgan, on January 31st, 2003, when I got home from the hospital a few days later, I started running. I thought, I am going to do the opposite of everything I had done in the past. Instead of dieting to lose 5 pounds just to gain back 8 and deprive myself, I'm going to set an athletic goal, and I am going to run a marathon. And I did it. 18 months after I set my first goal of running a marathon, I had lost and kept off about 50 pounds, and I was a marathoner. And this is coming from somebody... I avoided gym class in high school like the plague. It's not like I was fit before. I just made a commitment every single day to get up and get moving and fuel my body with delicious food.
So let's talk about the delicious food, and let's talk about your top 3 tips for anyone inspired to write their own weight loss story after hearing yours.
Sure, because I always say, if I can do it, absolutely anybody can do it. So my first tip is make a commitment to exercise. Actually, there's kind of 2 little tips in my first tip. So make a commitment to exercise and aim to get your 7 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. And I'll tell you, if you just do this one little tip, within a few days, you are going to feel like $1,000,000. And with the exercise, it could be walking, running, swimming, yoga. Find something that works for you, not something that your neighbor does or something that you see people on Instagram do. Make sure it works for you. If you're not enjoying the workout, chances are you're not going to do it. So I chose running because it was something that I could do right from my front door.
Right.
So I encourage people, if they want to take up running, head down to your local running room, talk to the staff. They've got awesome Learn to Run clinics. And many people that have started in a Learn to Run clinic that have never run before end up running full marathons.
So is the thing that once you start exercising, then you're thinking, I'm exercising and I'm eating chips and French fries and hot chocolate, so this doesn't make sense. So then you're inspired to eat properly?
Right. And I always encourage people to fuel their body. That's why I say, focus first. If you're just a beginner and you don't know how to eat healthy, focus on, make your first goal, your 7 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. So, kale's popular, apples, oranges, avocados. One website that I absolutely love is blendandextend.ca. So what they do is, the theory behind this is you take Canadian mushrooms. So mushrooms are available. Canadian mushrooms are available in all grocery stores, and you chop them up really finely, and you cook them with Canadian ground beef, and then you can use it. One of my favorite recipes is the cheeseburger pizza. So a pizza that tastes like a cheeseburger, but it's loaded with fruits and veggies.
Sounds amazing. So you also say very briefly, because we're running out of time, that you have to make yourself a priority, even though some people told you were selfish.
Absolutely. You make yourself your number one priority, especially moms out there. When I started exercising, people, looked at me like I was crazy. But what I would do is I would get up right before my husband went to work, and I would head out the door and I would get my run in, and then I knew it was done. I didn't have to spend any money. I just got my sweat on, and the exercise alone just made me feel like $1 million.
Now, I know that we're going to have some recipes
Yes.
and some tips from you posted on our website.
Right.
Where can people find you?
So they can go to my website, charmainebroughton.com, and I will have all the tips and tricks and more messaging about my weight loss success. Or they can find me on Facebook, Charmaine Broughton, or on Instagram, Charmaine Broughton.
Well, Charmaine, thank you so much for joining us and sharing this really inspiring story. I bet you there'll be a lot of people who are going to go and have a look and have a read and maybe start tomorrow.
Oh, excellent.
Who knows?
Yes. And again, if I can do it, anybody can do it.